Q1 FY27 earnings conference call hosted by HDFC Securities Limited. This conference call may contain forward-looking statements about the company, which are based on the beliefs, opinions, and expectations of the company as on the date of this call. These statements do not guarantee the future performance of the company and may involve risks and uncertainties that are difficult to predict. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during this conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star, then 0 on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. From the management, we have Mr. Ajendra Kumar Agarwal, Managing Director, Mr. Anand Rathi, Group CFO, and Mr. Ankit Maheshwari, Deputy CFO. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Parikshit Khandpal from HDFC Securities. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thank you, Anavik. I'll just hand over the call to the management without taking much time. Ajendra ji will start the proceedings with a brief overview of the industry, followed by a financial presentation by Rathi ji and Ankit. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Parikshit ji. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and a warm welcome to the Q1 FY27 earnings conference call of R Infraprojects Limited. Thank you for taking the time to join us today. I am joined on this call by Anand Rathi, Chief Financial Officer, and Ankit Maheshwari, Deputy CFO of the company. I will begin by sharing an overview of our financial and operational performance during the quarter, along with our perspective on infrastructure sector. Thereafter, Ankit ji will take you through the financial performance in detail, following which we will open the floor for questions. During Q1 FY27, the company recorded revenue from operations of approximately rupees 2,423 crore, representing a growth of 32.71% compared to corresponding quarter of the previous financial year on standalone basis. Adjusted EBITDA margin stood at 11.01% for the quarter as against 12.17% in the corresponding period last year. During the year, the company maintained a debt-equity ratio to 0.03, which is continued to remain among the best in the sector. As of 1st July 2026, our order book stands at approximately rupees 25,300 crore. Further, bids aggregating to approximately rupees 32,000 crore are yet to be opened. During the quarter, PCOD of Amritsar Batinda in Punjab and Yamuna Bridge projects in UP has been received. As on date, appointed date of 3 projects amounting to rupees 7,250 crores are still awaited. I would like to reiterate that the company's growth strategy is not limited to the road sector alone. We continue to see growing opportunity across metro, railway, power transmission, logistics and warehousing, tunnel, battery energy storage system, telecom infrastructure, and oil and gas sectors. Considering that, we believe greater participation of private capital supported by improved long-term financing mechanism and clear concession structure shall support the expansion of infrastructure sector and create additional opportunity for experienced EPC players. While the pace of project award may vary across sector, we remain positive on the overall infrastructure outlook for India. The country continues to have a significant long-term infrastructure requirement supported by sustained public investment and evolving private participation. Let me now briefly touch upon the key sector developments. In transportation sector, the transportation sector continues to present a strong opportunity with an overall pipeline of around 3.85 lakh crore, comprising approximately 78% of highway, 16% in railway, and 6% in metro. The government is also working to revive private sector participation in highway development through a new toll-cum-annuity model, combining feature of BOT and HAM. The proposed framework would provide 10 to 25% upfront government support for projects requiring higher levels of visibility gap funding, while allowing concessionaires to retain toll revenue over a fixed 20-year concession period. The revamped BOT toll framework is also expected to bring over 10,000 kilometers of projects into the private bidding pipeline. The newly introduced urban decongestion policy is expected to strengthen center-state coordination, with greater state participation in planning and financing ring roads, bypass, and other urban connectivity projects. The railway sector also continues to move towards corridor-based capacity creation, freight decongestion, and technology-led operations. During the quarter, the government approved multiple multi-tracking projects with an aggregate investment of approximately rupees 48,000 crore, while continued investment in safety, signaling, and communication infrastructure continue to strengthen network capability and reliability. In power transmission, the power sector is entering a period of structured reform, with the government preparing the first major overhaul of the national electricity policy. The proposed policy is expected to address the issue around transmission and distribution network access, traffic rationalization, and cross subsidies, with potential implications for investment and private participation across the power sector. As renewable energy generation expands, the sector's next phase of growth is expected to increasingly focus on developing high-capacity transmission network to evacuate power from renewable-rich regions. The sector is emerging as a significant infrastructure opportunity, with industry estimate indicating transmission capex of around 5 to 6 lakh crore between financial year 27 and 32. Tunnel and hydro. Backed by a strong government-led project pipeline, the tunnel and hydro segment represent an estimated opportunity of rupees 1 lakh crore approximately over the next 5 years. The government will also strengthen policy support for energy storage with proposed rupees 15,000 crore viability gap funding scheme for 112 gigawatt of storage capacity, including 60 gigawatt of pumped storage. In oil and gas, the government has approved 84,000 crore incentive package to accelerate deep water exploration and attract foreign investment, including support of up to 50% of exploratory drilling cost. The government is also stepping up effort to expand domestic oil and gas exploration with 46 new exploration blocks under open exchange licensing policy 10th and 11th, covering over 2.6 lakh square kilometer offered under the latest OALP rounds. In logistics and warehousing, the logistics and warehousing sector is also a significant long-term opportunity, with the industry estimate indicating that India could require around 216 multimodal logistic parks by 2047 to support the growth of freight movement and improve supply chain efficiency. The government is also working to strengthen the model concession agreement framework for multimodal logistic park, with objective of improving project viability and facilitating greater private sector participation. The warehousing sector is witnessing strong investment momentum, with institutional investment in Indian warehousing rising 53% year-on-year to around 500 crores. The warehousing sector is also expanding beyond traditional metropolitan market, with many tier 2 cities emerging as new warehousing hubs, supported by improving connectivity, growing consumption, and industrial activity. I would like to thank our clients, vendors, partners, employees, and shareholders for their continued trust and support. With that, I now request Ankit to take you through a financial performance in detail. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, and good afternoon, everyone. I will start with the key highlights of Q1 performance. The standalone revenue from operation was 2,423 crores approximately in the quarter ended June 26, which has increased by 32.71% year-over-year compared to 1,826 crores in quarter ended June 25. The consolidated revenue from operations was 2,784 crores in quarter ended June 26, which has increased by 40% year-over-year compared to 1,988 crores in quarter ended June 25. The standalone EBITDA margin stood at 11.02% in quarter ended June 26 from 12.65% in quarter ended June 25. The decrease was primarily on account of higher construction and material cost. The EBITDA margin at group level has decreased to 16.8% in quarter ended June 26 from 20% in quarter ended June 25. Profit after tax at standalone level decreased to 203.63 crores in quarter ended June 26 as compared to 216 crores in quarter ended June 25. Profit after tax at consolidated level increased 358 crores in quarter ended June 26 compared to 244 crores in quarter ended June 25. The PAT in the current quarter includes exceptional item of 46 crores related gain on dilution of interest in associate from 43.56% to 31.58%. The standalone net worth stood at 9,074 crores at the end of June 26.
Sorry to interrupt, sir. I would request you to come a little closer to the microphone because your voice is fading away every now and then. Thank you.
Sure. Am I audible now?
Much better, sir. Please go ahead.
Okay. The standalone net worth stood at 9,074 crores at the end of June 26. It was 8,869 crores at the end of fiscal 26. The net worth on consolidated level is 9,750 crores at the end of June 26. It was 9,391 crores at the end of fiscal 26. The total standalone borrowings outstanding at the end of June 26 is 239 crores with debt to equity of 0.03 times. The total consolidated borrowing outstanding at the end of June 26 is 5,286 crores with debt to equity of 0.55 times. During the quarter, the company has made additions to the fixed assets amounting to 22 crores to the net block of property, plant and equipment, and which is 1,019 crores at the end of current quarter June 26. Investment in the subsidiary companies in the form of loan and equity are 2,445 crores at the end of June 26, and the balance equity contribution required to be made to the HAM and BOT projects is 3,346 crores, of which we are expecting contribution of approximately 900 to 1,000 crores in the fiscal 27. Working capital days at the end of June 26 is 148 days as compared to 128 days at the end of fiscal 26. The increase is primarily on account of increase in debtor and inventory days. The trade receivables at the standalone basis are 2,655 crores, including 1,784 crore HAM debtors at the end of June 26, and the trade receivables at the consolidated level are 1,091 crores at the end of June 26. The unbilled revenue at the standalone basis is 938 crores at the end of June 26, and unbilled revenue at the consolidated level is 498 crores at the end of June 26. Inventories are at 863 crores at the end of June 26 compared to 739 crores at the end of fiscal 26. So I would sincerely like to thanks again to everyone. And on behalf of GR Infraprojects Limited, I thanks everybody on the call. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can now open the forum for questions.
We will now begin with the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on their touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. The first question comes from the line of Shravan Shah with Dolat Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, sir, and congrats on the good setup number, particularly on the execution front. So, a couple of questions. So, sir, first, broad in terms of the guidance. So, previously we were looking at revenue at a standalone level for FY27, 15% kind of a growth. Now we have already done a much better number in the 32-33% in the Q1. So how one can look at the FY27 revenue, and going forward in terms of the FY28 onwards, can we see this execution rate to inch up even 20% plus kind of a number?
Yeah, thank you, Shravan. Ankit here. So yeah, I mean, quarter one, we have been able to achieve 30% plus. But for the year, our guidance, remains the same, around 15 to 20%. And next year, depending upon the order inflow, etc., we expect that yes, we can reach, closer to 20% of the growth.
Okay, and on the margin front, 10.5-11% we were looking at. So still, given the commodity prices, and that's why we are still maintaining the same, or can we see 11% what we have done in the Q1? Can we even maintain, or maybe some improvement is also possible there?
I mean, if we see current scenario, 10 to 11% would be the range. But let's see how the macroeconomic factors evolve, after some time. Marginally, things can improve also, but we think that 10 to 11% would be the right range.
Yeah, and now the main in terms of the inflow. So how one can look at the inflow, which we were looking at 25,000 odd crore. So how much we are looking at, sir has mentioned that close to 32,000 crore which that we have submitted is yet to be open. If you can also split it in terms of the segment wise, what we are looking at and what we have bidded will be helpful.
I would like MD sir maybe.
Sir, ये जो प्रोजेक्ट्स है अभी पाइपलाइन में है, तो अगर सेगमेंट वाइज अपन देखेंगे तो रोड सेक्टर में
28,000
रोड सेक्टर में ये मैक्सिमम है 28,000 4,000 अपने हाइड्रो इंटरनल्स में है. लेकिन अभी जो सिनेरियो इम्प्रूवमेंट है उसमें अगर अपन देखें तो बीओटी में काफी पाइपलाइंस में हैं प्रोजेक्ट्स, तो इसमें इम्प्रूव होना चाहिए. लेकिन अभी तक जो की पाइपलाइंस कम रही है, गवर्नमेंट की अवार्डिंग कम रही है, लेकिन आने वाले टाइम में ये इम्प्रूव होनी चाहिए. कुछ जो इंटरनेशनल लेवल पे जो डिस्टर्बेंस है उसका भी मुझे लगता है कुछ इफेक्ट्स है. जिस तरह से ऑयल प्राइसेस और बिटुमन के प्राइसेस जो डिस्टर्ब है उसकी वजह से भी कुछ प्रोजेक्ट्स जो है वो आने वाले टाइम में अपबीट होंगे, क्योंकि अब स्टेबल जो इंटरनेशनली अगर आप एनवायरनमेंट देखें तो कुछ इम्प्रूवमेंट होता हुआ दिख रहा है. आने वाले टाइम में निश्चित तौर पे इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर पे एक अच्छा गवर्नमेंट का पाइपलाइंस ओपन होनी चाहिए.
ओके, तो फॉर सर पूरे साल के लिए जो हम 20-25 हजार करोड़ जो देख रहे हैं ये साल के लिए, तो वो हम लोग कॉन्फिडेंट है कि उतना तो अपने को 20-25 हजार करोड़ का इनफ्लो आना चाहिए, गिवन के आप जैसे बता रहे हैं कि 28,000 करोड़ ऑलरेडी हमने रोड में बीट किया है, तो ब्रॉडली मतलब 12-15 हजार करोड़ अपने जो 20-25 हजार अगर देख रहे हैं तो उसमें से रोड विल स्टिल रिमेन द मेजर वन।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, निश्चित तौर पे ये नंबर अचीवेबल लग रहे हैं। जो इस तरह का माहौल है और जिस तरह के गवर्नमेंट के साथ में जो डिस्कशन में दिखता है, आने वाले टाइम में प्रोजेक्ट आएंगे और अपनी ये जो टारगेट है अपन अचीव करेंगे।
सी ये रोड में ना, रोड हम लोग 28,000 विच वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट, राइट, विच इंक्लूड्स इट इज एक्चुअली ट्रांसपोर्टेशन विच इंक्लूड्स मेट्रोज, राइट, वो भी है, मतलब इट इज नॉट ओनली रोड्स, सर्किट ट्रांसपोर्टेशन जो भी आ रहा है दैट वो सारी एक्टिविटी कवर करके है।
ओके ओके ओके, बट वही थोड़ा सा समझना था कि अभी जैसे NHA ने भी रिसेंटली जो लिस्ट निकाला है 5,000 किलोमीटर दैट दे वांट टू अवॉर्ड इन दिस ईयर, मोर देन 4.5 लाख ऑड का जो अभी टोल प्लस एन्युटी भी वो लोग नया लेके आ रहे हैं, तो अपना अभी फोकस कैसे रहेगा, मतलब वहां से या फिर स्टिल ट्रांसमिशन ऑयल एंड गैस, और वहां से भी हम लोग ज्यादा अपॉर्चुनिटी देख रहे हैं इन टर्म्स ऑफ द इनफ्लो?
So there is no restriction. Transportation पे there is no restriction. I mean, only issue is कि bandwidth का तो transportation पे issue है नहीं. Only thing is on transmission side, on oil and gas side, those are the new sector where we are also developing our team. तो उसमें थोड़ा time लगता है. Probably, for example, oil and gas में भी the government has come up with the incentive scheme, right? तो हम लोग मतलब we may not, be, fast tracking that particular sector. रोड में तो कोई चैलेंज ही नहीं है. रोड में अगर काम आज 5 लाख करोड़ का बिड कर दे तो वी कैन टेक 20,000 करोड़ ऑफ ऑर्डर्स, राइट. तो देयर इज नो इशू इन टर्म्स ऑफ ट्रांसपोर्टेशन, चाहे रोड हो, चाहे रेल हो, चाहे मेट्रो हो, व्हाटएवर. So we are targeting both. I mean, for the current year, what we are targeting is, because we are looking at each and every model of the road transport. तो हम लोग we are looking at EPC, we are looking at HAM, we are looking at BOT, NUT, बोल दो BOT, whatever way. We all are comfortable. We are more comfortable with each and every model. So what we are targeting for the current year, road sector में अपना around 14,000 का अपन BOT, right? नहीं, total order book में भी that incoming order जो अपना हाँ. So around 14,000 crore of the inflow which we are targeting in road sector. अब वो depending on that competition, it may come down, it may go up. I mean, इसमें in terms of capacity, in terms of capabilities, we are not basically, there is no hindrance. We can go up to 15,000, 18,000. But then depending on that competition which exists in the sector, उसको अपन 10,000 पे भी आ सकता है. तो idea is this is our guidance, this is our target. So ऊपर कम plus minus 10% होता है तो we are comfortable.
ओके, एंड लास्टली सर, अपॉइंटेड डेट जो अपना बचा हुआ एक आगरा ग्वालियर एंड 2 जो हैम लिए थे, तो वो अभी कब तक आ जाएंगे? एंड जो इक्विटी जो बचा हुआ है, सर ने बोला 900 से 1,000 करोड़ ये साल में, सो आगे के लिए 28-29 में कितना इक्विटी अपने इन्वेस्ट करेंगे?
See, total equity investment for next stage around 3,300 crore का करीब अपने प्लान है for next 3 years, which is already committed. अगले 3 साल में largely in next 3 years of time अपने को डालना है. और आगरा ग्वालियर की अगर अपन बात करें तो मे बी अक्टूबर और नवंबर, थोड़ा मानसून का ये खत्म हो जाता है. आई थिंक मोस्ट ऑफ द जो प्रेसिडेंसीज और कंडीशन प्रेसिडेंस हैज ऑलरेडी बीन ओवर, ऑलरेडी बीन कंप्लाइड. तो आई थिंक वी आर कॉन्फिडेंट विल बी गेटिंग दैट अपॉइंटेड डेट इन द मंथ ऑफ अक्टूबर नवंबर आगरा ग्वालियर का. और बाकी बिकॉज दोज प्रोजेक्ट्स वी हैव रिसीव्ड इन मार्च, सो आप इसे मतलब अगेन दैट वुड बी इन द मंथ ऑफ दिसंबर. बाकी 2 हैम प्रोजेक्ट्स है, विल बी टारगेटिंग के अपॉइंटेड डेट वुड बी द मंथ ऑफ दिसंबर.
Okay, sir. Thank you and all the best, sir.
Thank you.
A reminder to all participants, you may press star and 1 to ask a question. The next question comes from the line of Vaibhav Shah with JM Financial. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So what would be our revenue from T&D vertical in first quarter?
So
The T&D vertical first quarter revenue was approximately 110 crores.
110.
Yes.
Okay, so growth was mainly driven by highways only in first quarter?
By three sectors, I would say. Transport, which includes, of course, highways. Second was PT&D, because if you see previous quarter, the previous financial year, it was 75 crores and this quarter is 110 crores. And also from the oil and gas business unit. So three sectors were the major contributors.
And what was ONG revenue this quarter?
ONG revenue this quarter is 270 crores.
And our target for the entire year for ONG?
Entire year for the target is approximately 1,000 crores.
1,000 plus.
Okay. So secondly, on the order inflow guidance, so the total number will be maintained around 22,000 crores combined?
The target, our target, as Anandji already explained, sector-wise, depending upon how the bid inflows happen, it could be, plus minus 10% also.
Around the 20,000 crores mark.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, sir. Those are my questions.
Thank you.
The next question comes from the line of Aditya Khetan with First Asset Limited. Please go ahead.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon. Thank you for the opportunity. I wanted to know your views on the opportunity presented by the hydrogen rail program and which part of the entire value chain does the company expect to participate in, and what meaningful growth driver can come in the medium term from this new project of the government?
Yeah, though it's a good initiative, of course, by the government, but presently, from our strategy viewpoint, we are not exploring that particular sector.
Okay. So are you not actively involved in this project at all?
Green hydrogen, in the hydrogen train, no.
Okay, fine.
Do you have any more questions, Aditya?
No, sir. I just wanted to know if the company is into the hydrogen rail program, because somewhere I had come across they are actively into the fueling stage. That's it.
Thank you. Participants, please press star and 1 to ask a question. The next question comes from the line of Vineet with Investec India. Please go ahead. Vineet, please unmute your line in case if you are on mute, and you may ask your question.
Sorry, am I audible now?
Yes, Vineet.
Okay, perfect. Thanks. So just a couple of questions. The first one is we've had a very sharp raw material inflation, particularly related to crude in Q1 and in the last few months. How confident are you that that gets compensated by the escalation clauses which we have across our projects, and the same holds true for other raw material commodities as well?
See, crude actually, particularly, for our, it is not direct crude. Basically, it's a bitumen, right? And bitumen-linked product, which is, petrocarbon product, hydrocarbon product, which is diesel and all, right? So particularly for bitumen, government has come up with direct circular, which is actually, so it is over and above that escalation clause which we are having in the contract, because the price jump in bitumen is so, it was so high, right? So which could not be, covered through escalation, and they came up with the direct circular, and they linked whatever bitumen which we have been, applying on the road construction activities during the quarter, we have been directly compensated by the government. Yes, of course, on diesel side, that was not the case. So to that extent, our financials have been impacted, right? Diesel and related to the diesel, because for example, we are utilizing aggregate, right, which is being crushed by the crusher, where again, input is the diesel, right, or maybe electricity and all that, right? So to that extent, Yes. So overall impact is there on the raw material side, and because of the diesel or energy related issues, energy related price hike, price. But if we talk about specifically bitumen, which is direct component which is getting utilized into our project, that is very well compensated by the government. Yeah.
Understood. And how about, sir, for aluminium, steel, particularly in the power transmission sector?
Our transmission sector in aluminium, copper, see, not much is not because of it is more kind of speculation, right? Because of that war-like situation, the volatility was there, and it was very much. I mean, the price variation was very high, right? But it is not that. I mean, it is not. Maybe it's not because of the maybe supply chain could be one of the reason, but it is more of speculation. Probably what we believe is that in the next 3 to 6 months that would be again stabilized. And we are of course it is impacting our project margin, but it is not that. I mean, we have to that is getting spread over the period of 2 years of time, right? So whatever raw material which we are procuring for a power transmission project, which we are procuring in next 1.5 year, it is getting spread over there. So maybe for current quarter, whatever raw material which we are purchasing, right, to that extent my price would be higher, but it is not getting compensated. Right? We are not getting any escalation, at least into power transmission project. But over the period of next 2 years, maybe this would again be normalized, and the price would, impact would not be that high, right? Which probably we'll see next, the current 1 or 2 quarters.
Understood. And sir, one bookkeeping question. If I look at the other income this quarter, that was relatively on the lower side. Any particular reasons for the same?
Yeah. So if you see the impact of other income is basically the interest and dividend which we received, from the Indus Infra Trust. So this quarter, that payment was in the form of capital repayment. So that becomes the balance sheet item and not the P&L item. So overall, at the company level, we have received 3.5 per unit versus 2.25 per unit in the last quarter, previous year's quarter. And interest dividend income was lower, so that's why you see that difference.
Understood. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Participants, in the interest of time and fairness to others, please restrict yourselves to 2 questions. For any more questions, you may rejoin the queue. The next question comes from the line of Bhavin Modi with Anand Rathi Groups. Please go ahead.
Hello, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. Sir, how are you seeing the competition in the road sector? Like we have been seeing some bids getting opened in the MORTH and the NHAI. There are still 15 to 20 bidders always there in the bids that are open. So how do you see the competition?
तो मार्केट में अगर अपन हाईवे सेक्टर में देखेंगे तो कंपटीशन तो अभी रहेगा, लेकिन गोइंग फॉरवर्ड जो प्रोजेक्ट साइज है और जिस तरह से नंबर ऑफ प्रोजेक्ट्स आएंगे, मैं ये देखता हूँ कंपटीशन थोड़ा रिड्यूस होगा. और अभी गवर्नमेंट का जिस तरह से बीओटी प्रोजेक्ट्स के अंदर फोकस है, उसमें लिमिटेड पार्टिसिपेशन रहेगा. जिनकी बैलेंस शीट स्ट्रॉन्ग है वो लोग पार्टिसिपेट कर पाएंगे. तो गोइंग फॉरवर्ड एक अच्छी अपॉर्चुनिटी है हाईवे सेक्टर में.
Okay. Second, sir, how do you see the competition in other sectors like elevated metro, railways? There also we are seeing the road players are entering to those space, and the competition is elevated even that space.
कंपटीशन तो देखिए, जब हाईवे सेक्टर में जिस तरह से कैपेबिलिटी लोगों की बनी है, तो गोइंग फॉरवर्ड सभी इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर सेक्टर में, क्योंकि अभी आप चाहे वो पावर ट्रांसमिशन हो, चाहे वो एलिवेटेड रोड हो, चाहे वो मेट्रो हो, जो कैपेबिलिटी बनेगी लोगों का पेनिट्रेशन बढ़ेगा. लेकिन आने वाले समय में जो अपॉर्चुनिटी बढ़ेगी तो ये एक अच्छी हेल्दी, क्योंकि इसके अंदर जिनकी बैलेंस शीट स्ट्रॉन्ग रहेगी वही लोग सस्टेन करेंगे, तो हेल्दी कंपटीशन तो रहेगा बट अपॉर्चुनिटी भी अच्छी रहेगी.
और उसमें क्या है, सी इवन रेलवे, you will find that government is basically considering that HAM model in railway projects also, right? So dedicated freight corridor they are talking about, those projects would be awarded under HAM model. तो ये तो है कि मतलब if the government is also considering more and more participation on private side rather than के EPC, तो जितना EPC कम होगा and more capital is required, that also give that push to basically कि competition would be lesser going forward. अभी वो 6 महीने में होता है, 12 महीने में होता है, that's the only matter which, I mean, that's the only thing which we have to see.
Thank you. The next question comes from the line of Uttam Shrimal with Axis Securities. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Thanks for the opportunity. Sir, my question pertains to other income. This first quarter run rate will continue in the next 3 quarters also?
Yes.
Okay. And sir, hello?
Please continue.
Yeah, okay. And sir, what would be our CapEx guidance for this year and the next year?
So for the current year, the capex guidance is of approximately 300 crores. And for the next year, it shall remain 200 to 250 crores.
Okay. So that's all from my side, and thank you.
The next question comes from the line of Vasudev with Nuvama Wealth Management. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. So, sir, if you can just give an absolute terms, how much distribution we received from the InvIT in this quarter, and are we planning to transfer any other asset to the InvIT in this year?
Specifically, I mean, amount what you are saying is what exactly the cash flows we have received as a distribution from the InvIT, right? So this is around I would say 70 crore. 70 crore which we have received in the current quarter, right? And the second question you asked for is that
other assets. Available.
So we have got, I mean, so for current year also we are targeting at least 3-4 assets would be transferred to NVIDIA.
Okay. And sir, what is the status of the BharatNet project?
BharatNet project, we are waiting for ROW. So we have started O&M activity, operation maintenance activity, which is also a integral part of that project. But existing project, I mean, whatever existing project which has been handed over to us, we already started. But we have not received so far that ROW where that new capex can be done, right? So we are waiting, and probably what we believe is that again in the month of October only we'll be able to start in terms of this project, the project capex. Yeah.
Thank you. The next question comes from the line of Deepashri Joshi with Ambit Capital. Please go ahead.
Hello, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. I just wanted to understand why the trade receivables this quarter have increased, the external trade receivables.
Yeah, so external trade receivable largely includes oil and gas. I mean, because we entered last year, and this is a new sector for us. And so far, our understanding is once that project is complete, then only that project is getting. I mean, that cash accrual or trade receivable.
Just to get a number correct, so roughly in terms of the other income, we must have booked around close to 19 crore, 19.5 crore should be there part of other income in the Q1 at a standalone level.
Yeah, so so the total other income is around 68 crores, of which 20 crore is from the InvIT interest, and other interest income is 35 crores. And balance portion, as I already explained, was in the form of repayment of capital. So if we specifically talk about other income from InvIT, that is higher compared to the previous year's quarter, and that differential impact is in the balance sheet because the capital was repaid.
Yeah, got it. Okay. Yeah, that is it from my side. Thank you.
The next question comes from the line of Karan Gupta with Cavi Capital. Please go ahead.
Yes, thank you for the opportunity. Just quickly on the BharatNet project, there's been significant increase in OFC costs. So is that covered under your contract, or how are you managing that?
So we have, what we have done. See, we are not getting any escalation, but at the same time, from our vendor, we also having fixed price contract for the optical fibers cable, right? For first 3 years, right? So there is pressure, but we have to also see. How do we basically come out of this whole issue? But theoretically, yes, there is no escalation which we are getting from our client, and we also are not supposed to pay any escalation to our vendor.
Fair enough, sir. My only question. Thank you.
Thank you.
A reminder to all participants, you may press star and 1 to ask a question. Participants, you may press star and 1 to ask a question. The next question comes from the line of Vaibhav Shah with JM Financial. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Sir, what kind of revenue are we expecting from the BharatNet project in FY27?
Current year.
So in the FY27, we are expecting around 400 crores from BharatNet project.
So this would be the other infra works, or will we be deploying the cables as well?
No, it is cable and operation O&M activities. See, BharatNet includes both laying of cable as well as operation and maintenance of existing project as well. Right?
So order value is roughly 650 crore plus O&M of 400 crores, right?
Right. 1,000 crore is the order value.
So out of 650, we are going to do 400 in this year itself?
No, not 400 out of that 650. It would be around 300 in capex side, and the balance would be on opex side, right? No O&M.
So we'll be starting it in second half, and we'll do 300 crores revenue.
O&M is already started, and we'll be doing that capex. Will be starting from second half. Yeah, and we'll be able to do around 300 crores.
Okay. And when do we expect to start the work on BESS project?
BESS, the work is already started. Only thing is, because of that geopolitical issues, right? The battery prices and the dollar rupee movement. So we are just waiting for that time to, where all those, external factors comes to, I would say, which help, comes to in favor. Maybe next 3 months of time, we will be altering batteries and all that probably. So that is on track. It is already started. The civil work and other items of that project is already ordered, or it is already under execution.
And for railway project in MP?
That is already started.
So can we see a 30% kind of execution this year from the project?
And then 30%. Initially, in first year, we should not target more than, I would say, 15%.
15%, yeah.
Right.
Okay. And so lastly, on Agra Gwalior, you mentioned that we may get the AD in sometime in October or November. So can we see a 10% kind of execution this year?
Yeah, very much.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir. Those are my questions.
The next question comes from the line of Dia Jain with Sapphire Capital. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yes, Dia.
So what kind of revenues are we targeting for FY28 and also the margin, sir?
So FY28, we are targeting, if we target 20% growth, so probably it would be in the range of 12,000 crore, right? 11,000-12,000 crore kind of revenue which we are targeting for FY28. And the margin, yes, of course, we are expecting in the same range. But that again depends on how those macroeconomic situations, pan out over the period of next 6 months basis. That probably if my margin may be, on plus side or minus side, yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
The next question comes from the line of Sudeep Bora with Ambit Capital. Please go ahead.
Thank you for the opportunity, sir. Sir, I wanted to understand, like in Q1, we had a more than 30% kind of a jump in revenue as compared to last year. So for full year FY27, we are guiding 15-20% kind of growth. So what is kind of stopping us from, say, 25-30% growth this year, considering we have a strong order book?
See, in current quarter, we witness around almost 30%, right? And now the second half would be more, guided by how early and how fast we will be getting that appointed date. Our target is that we'll be getting in the month of October or December, right? But if there is any delay, then probably we may not have that kind of, and that monsoon also. The pattern of monsoon which we have seen in last 2-3 years is running up to the month of October. So we are practically starting on ground in the month of November, right? All construction related activities already generally getting started in the month of November. So this is our own previous experience we are targeting. So yeah, that could be a possibility that where we can witness 25% of growth on annual basis. But if there is any positive growth, positive deviation, I don't think there would be any issue. But yeah, that is our conservative estimate.
Okay, understood, sir. And last time we had this labor issue, right, in Q4. So that has got completely resolved, or how is the situation right now?
Yeah, labor issue is not there. Last time it was because of Bengal election and all that. Those issues were there. But yeah, now there is no issue. Okay. Now it is more on material side, not on manpower side.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Those were my questions.
Thank you. The next question comes from the line of Parikshit Khandpal with HDFC Securities. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Thanks for the opportunity. So my question is, now we are building credentials in the oil and gas segment, and in the past we have done transmission. So just wanted to understand from the export markets point of view, especially Middle East, which is a big market for both oil and gas and transmission. So do we have any strategy over the next 2-3 years, given that the road sector has significantly slowed down over the last 2-3 years? So how are you thinking about expanding beyond India?
फर्स्ट इसमें क्या है कि दोनों ही सेक्टर में हम डोमेस्टिक लेवल पे पहले अपने क्रेडेंशियल डेवलप करेंगे और उसके ऊपर फिर कॉन्फिडेंस आए पूरी तरह से मार्केट पे अपनी पकड़ बने तो फिर इंटरनेशनल मार्केट को अभी फिलहाल नेक्स्ट 1 to 2 years में हमारा इंटरनेशनल बिजनेस में अभी तक कोई फोकस नहीं एंड उसमें क्या है मोर ओवर power transmission is, I would say, is a huge opportunity over there in India itself, right? At the same time, oil and gas also because of this war situation, right? So
वहाँ पे भी गवर्नमेंट इज फोकसिंग मोर. तो व्हाट वी आई मीन ऑयल एंड गैस में भी अपने को बाहर जाने में ज्यादा चैलेंज नहीं होता. रीजन बीइंग द एनवायरमेंट मींस द सेम लार्जली इफ वी आर वर्किंग इन द सी, राइट. बट गवर्नमेंट अभी थोड़ा सा फोकस कर रही है इंडिया में भी in oil and gas sector as well, right? So what we also believe is that for next 2 years at least there are ample opportunities in India also. And though we are also, अब जैसे हम लोग we are manufacturing transmission tower as well. So we have set up that manufacturing facilities, transmission tower जो बनाने का. And probably we are expanding also. मतलब we already started in existing finishes. बट अभी हम लोग उसको एक्सपेंड भी करेंगे फॉर मैन्युफैक्चरिंग ऑफ मोर ट्रांसमिशन टावर. बट इफ वी आर एबल टू लेट्स इज रीजन बीइंग विथ व्हाई वी एंटर इनटू दैट मैन्युफैक्चरिंग इज बिकॉज वी आर देयर इज द चैलेंज व्हिच वी आर फेसिंग के टावर अपने को टाइम पे नहीं मिल रहा. तो पॉइंट इज दैट मार्केट एग्जिस्ट इन इंडिया इटसेल्फ. And we, अगर अपने को मिलता है over the period next 2 years, if we believe that or we observe that कि okay, we are having more than sufficient facility in India, if we are able to cater Indian projects as well as we are having surplus capacity, certainly we'll move to international market as well. But अभी आज की डेट में हमारे को लगता है अगले 2 साल तो इंडिया में बहुत काफी सारा अपॉर्चुनिटी है. So there is no need to basically. So at least for next 1 year. We are establishing ourselves in India, but maybe after 1 year we will start looking into outside India as well.
Okay. So one question is for Rajendra ji, sir. I mean, last 3 years we are thinking or we are hoping that the roads ordering will pick up in India. And every time we talk about, every quarter we talk about some trillions of opportunity or bid pipeline from NHAI, which doesn't convert on the ground in terms of ordering or execution. So, sir, what needs to be changed on the ground, or what according to you could change wherein the ordering comes back? Any color from the government interactions that now the bids are going to come maybe towards the year end, maybe towards the second half or next year? So why road ordering is not happening according to you, and what will drive it back?
अभी ये जो अपन हर साल निश्चित तौर पे ये अपॉर्चुनिटी जिस तरह से देखते हैं मार्केट में, लेकिन कन्वर्ट नहीं हो पा रही है. अब आने वाले टाइम में अभी गवर्नमेंट का मुझे यूँ लगता है कि जो इन्वेस्टमेंट की जो फिलोसफी है इनकी, इनिशियली इन्होंने गवर्नमेंट ने जैसे ईपीसी प्रोजेक्ट और हैम पे ज़्यादा फोकस किया. अभी नई जो पॉलिसी है मतलब इनको चाहिए मोर पार्टिसिपेशन ऑफ प्राइवेट सेक्टर. बीओटी स्कीम है तो बीओटी उतनी अभी तक जो पॉलिसी है उस पॉलिसी पे काम हो रहा है, और पॉलिसी पे काम होगा तो नए प्रोजेक्ट काफी आएंगे. अब पॉलिसी एक बार फाइनली बन जाए तो निश्चित तौर पे प्रोजेक्ट आएंगे. उसी चीज का नए अभी देखें अपने गवर्नमेंट ने अभी सबसे पहले बीओटी के नए कंसेशन एग्रीमेंट पे काम कर रही है. उसके अलावा बीओटी प्लस हैम के ऊपर काम कर रही है. तो वंस पॉलिसी फाइनल हो जाए तो निश्चित तौर पे नए प्रोजेक्ट्स और काफी प्रोजेक्ट्स पाइपलाइंस में हैं जिनके ऊपर काम होना है. और काम की रिक्वायरमेंट एक्चुअली इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर में ह्यूज है. अभी किसी भी सिटी में देखें तो ट्रैफिक का जिस तरह से कंजेशन है, हाईवे पे कोई किसी भी हाईवे पे भी देखें तो जिस तरह से कंजेशन है, तो ह्यूज रिक्वायरमेंट है लॉजिस्टिक्स में. और आने वाले 1-2 साल में मतलब रिक्वायरमेंट भी है, गवर्नमेंट का फोकस भी है, बट किसी न किसी वजह से हो नहीं पा रहा है. मतलब क्या चीज चेंज हो, हाँ कहना थोड़ा सा मुश्किल है. लेकिन गवर्नमेंट का जैसे जहाँ भी डिस्कशन होता है तो वहाँ यही लगता है कि अभी अपॉर्चुनिटी मतलब अगले नेक्स्ट क्वार्टर में ही इतनी अपॉर्चुनिटी होगी कि जिसको मार्केट अब्जॉर्व नहीं कर पाएगा. मतलब उस तरह के डिस्कशन होते हैं. बट रियलिटी नो डाउट अपने पिछले 2 साल से देख रहे हैं तो उतना हो नहीं पा रहा है.
This is the last question, sir. वो खाली एक इन्वेस्टमेंट पे पूछना था. So now we have 2,400 crores invested. We have pending 3,400, which will take the total investments to 5,700, and upwards of between 5,500 to 6,000 in the next 3 years, which will be the residual equity investments pending in all the assets, invested in all the assets. Still beyond, we have 2,000 crores of units in the InvIT, so which will take the number to 8,000 crores. So the next 3 years with monetization, there will be huge cash flows plus the dividend income, recurring dividend income over many years. So how do you think this will get distributed or utilized in the business? Because there seems to be a huge value which is getting created. I mean, even if I multiply it 1.5 times, 1.3, 1.4 times price to book, so the number looks to be quite big, in fact, more than the market cap. So how do you think this will get utilized over a period of time?
So for that reason only because एक road में that's why we are also equally interested in BOT projects just to deploy whatever cash accruals which we are having on our balance sheet. So that's how we are targeting that we diversified into more business where we can deploy our capital with a meaningful return. होना वैसे ही है, and hence we are targeting transmission, we are targeting logistic में भी also we are deploying, we believe that we are getting or we are hopeful of getting good returns over there as well, right? So होना तो वैसे ही है, and more BOT क्या है, अगर BOT भी ढंग से आ जाता, see, even for example, if we are able to get 10,000 crore or 8,000 crore of BOT as well, so then also at least 30%, 2,400 crore तो वो project में चला जाता है, right? So and government intent is also to have more and more private participation. So we are equipped. We are just waiting for right opportunities, right? How to and where do we deploy this capital? And we are quite hopeful we will be able to deploy because infrastructure में काम होना है और government ने private